As autumn's gentle hand swept across the land, transforming the vibrant green forest into a tapestry of golds, oranges, and deep reds, a quiet shift began. The air grew crisp, carrying the earthy scent of fallen leaves. In this breathtaking landscape lived Barnaby, a little bear cub, whose heart was filled with a boundless curiosity. He watched the world around him with wide, innocent eyes, noticing every subtle change as the season turned towards its restful slumber. Barnaby observed the other forest creatures with a keen sense of wonder. Squirrels were frantically burying their winter stashes, their tiny paws a blur of activity. Birds, in great flocks, were taking flight towards warmer skies, their calls fading into the distance. Even the deer seemed to move with a new, unhurried grace, their coats growing thicker. Barnaby felt a new sensation, a gentle urge to slow down, to curl up, but he didn't quite understand why everyone was preparing for a long, deep sleep. One afternoon, as the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows across the forest floor, a gentle breeze stirred. It rustled the remaining leaves on the branches and swirled around Barnaby's small paws. This wind felt different. It wasn't a blustery, playful gust, but a soft, murmuring breath. It seemed to hum a quiet lullaby, carrying a subtle invitation, a hint of a secret just beyond the familiar paths. Barnaby tilted his head, listening intently to its soft, soothing voice. Intrigued by the wind's persistent, tender whispers, Barnaby lifted his small, damp nose, testing the crisp autumn air. The breeze wasn't forceful. Instead, it offered a series of soft, encouraging nudges, guiding him gently forward. With a sense of peaceful curiosity, he began to follow its invisible path. His little paws patted softly over the cushion of fallen leaves, creating a soft, rhythmic sound. The forest around him seemed to grow quieter, calmer, as he embarked on his peaceful journey. With every step Barnaby took, the dry, papery leaves beneath his paws created a soft, rhythmic whisper. It was a natural symphony, a calming sound that blended seamlessly with the gentle hum of the wind through the trees. This Lofi backdrop of nature's melodies enveloped him, enhancing the peaceful atmosphere of his exploration. The forest spoke to him in hushed tones, guiding him deeper into its quiet heart, where the world seemed to slow down, inviting contemplation and calm. As Barnaby wandered deeper, he continued to observe the forest's quiet preparations. He saw a wise old badger reinforcing its cozy burrow, its nose twitching with purpose. A family of tiny field mice had snuggled together in a hollow log, their winter stores carefully arranged around them. Each sighting reinforced the grand, instinctual rhythm of nature, a universal slowing down and winding down into slumber. Barnaby felt a growing understanding, a natural acceptance of this impending rest. The wind was never urgent, only constant, a gentle, continuous suggestion guiding Barnaby. It led him away from the well-trodden paths, deeper into a quieter, more secluded part of the woods. Here, ancient, tall pine trees stood like silent sentinels, their needles creating a soft, muted canopy. The air in this spot felt especially still and profound, a natural sanctuary where time seemed to pause, hinting at a hidden refuge, a place of ultimate peace. Through a thicket of rustling berry bushes, almost completely obscured by nature's embrace, Barnaby caught sight of a darker patch against a mossy, ancient hillside. It was a small opening, barely visible, as if deliberately hidden, intended to be a secret. A soft sense of anticipation, warm and gentle, began to stir within his little bear heart. This wasn't just another rock formation, it felt like a purposeful dwelling, waiting to be discovered, a potential answer to his quiet wonder. Cautiously, Barnaby approached the opening, his paws moving with newfound purpose. Here, the wind swirled gently, not entering the dark mouth of the cave, but caressing its edges, like a welcoming breath. It wasn't a grand, imposing cavern, but a modest, earthy alcove, perfectly sized for a bear cub. The scent of cool, damp earth and ancient stone filled his nose, a promise of shelter and respite from the crisp, cooling autumn air. It felt deeply right, deeply safe. He peeked inside, his small nose twitching. The darkness within wasn't menacing or cold, it was inviting, a soft blanket of shadow that seemed to hold a comforting quiet. From the depths of the earth a natural, subtle warmth radiated, a stark and welcoming contrast to the cooling air outside. This silent promise of comfort and security drew him further, beckoning him into its heart. It felt like stepping into a gentle, natural embrace, a perfect haven for rest. The walls of the cave were smooth, softened by eons of wind and water, worn by time into a perfect, protective dome. It felt as though the very earth itself was offering a gentle embrace, a secure and enduring haven from the elements. This was more than just a simple hole in the ground, it was a natural cradle, shaped by the land, waiting to offer deep rest. Barnaby knew, with a certainty that settled deep in his cub heart, that this was his safe space. Barnaby carried in a few of the softest, dried leaves he had gathered along his journey, arranging them into a makeshift, humble bed. He turned a few comfortable circles, instinctively shaping his space, settling into the contours of the earth. The simple, ancient act of preparing his den brought with it a profound sense of satisfaction and belonging. He was home, ready for the long rest, ready to become a part of the forest's deep, peaceful slumber. Now settled and comfortable, Barnaby listened once more. The whispering wind continued its gentle song, a soft, ethereal hum that filtered faintly through the cave entrance. It was a lullaby composed by nature itself, harmonizing with the distant, hooting calls of an owl and the last, soft rustle of leaves outside. These sounds, once curious, now felt like a comforting blanket, inviting him to close his eyes and truly relax into the quiet night. As the sun finally dipped below the horizon, painting the forest in hues of deep orange, purple, and fading blue, a profound quiet descended. Inside the cave, Barnaby felt the shift, a peaceful slowing of his own heartbeat, matching the rhythm of the world outside. The day's adventures and curiosities began to recede, replaced by a deep sense of calm. The forest was preparing for its long sleep, and so, too, was he, embraced by the deepening quiet. The air within his cozy cave was now perfectly still and held a gentle, lingering warmth, a reservoir of the day's last heat. Barnaby tucked his small nose deeper into his soft paws, feeling utterly safe and perfectly protected. The deep, ancestral instinct to rest, to hibernate through the long winter months, now felt not like a task, but a welcoming embrace, a profound sense of belonging. All worries faded, replaced by pure, comforting security. With each slow, steady breath, Barnaby's small body relaxed further and further. The gentle hum of the wind, now a faint murmur at the cave's mouth, and the earthy, calming sense of his new home, became a soothing balm for his senses. His eyelids grew heavy, like soft, velvety curtains, and his thoughts, once racing with curiosity, softened and slowed, dissolving gently like the last shadows of dusk. He was truly, deeply, letting go. Barnaby drifted, not into a stark darkness, but into a world of soft, dreamlike warmth. He imagined the last golden leaves slowly twirling and falling outside his hidden haven, the quiet forest waiting patiently beneath a blanket of stars. It was a peaceful transition, a complete surrender to the deep, restorative sleep that winter generously offered. He dreamt of spring, of waking up refreshed, ready for new adventures. Barnaby, the gentle little bear cub, was now deeply, profoundly asleep, nestled securely within his safe, cozy cave. He was cradled by the ancient earth and serenaded by the softest of whispers, the quiet music of the sleeping forest. His peaceful journey, guided by the whispering wind, had led him to his perfect haven, a place of ultimate peace and deep rest. Here he would remain, safe and sound, until the awakening of spring called him forth once more. Just like Barnaby, finding his safe and cozy cave, you too can find your own inner haven. As you prepare for your own restful night, let the gentle whispers of the wind, the calming Lofi melodies, and the comforting quiet of this tale guide you. Allow your body to relax, your mind to unwind, and your breath to deepen, releasing any lingering tensions from the day. Embrace this moment of serene transition. Embrace the comforting quiet, the stillness that settles over the world as it prepares for rest. Allow yourself to drift, to release the day's thoughts and embrace the gentle call of sleep. Welcome the deep, peaceful slumber that renews your spirit and recharges your body. May your dreams be as golden and peaceful as Barnaby's autumn forest, and may you awaken feeling refreshed and ready for a brand new day. Good night, and sleep well.